Hosted in conjunction with Chris Media, the CEO interview series allows investors to hear directly from the CEOs leading the companies featured on Wholesale Investor. Enjoy the interview and reach out via the details in the description.
Hi, and welcome to another CEO interview. Today, I'm joined by the founder and CEO of Primacy Technology, Aga Manhao. Thank you for joining me, Aga.
Hi, Rhythm. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us for the interview today.
My pleasure.
Brilliant. Now, Aga, just to begin with, could you give us an overview of Primacy Technology, who you are and what you bring to the market?
Sure. Primacy is a RegTech software development company. We're based here in Singapore with operations both in Singapore and Australia, and just recently in the United Kingdom. We have invented a technology that allows us to convert legislation into code, which we use for reporting purposes. For example, we do a lot of work within the ESG reporting space for financial services firms at the moment.
Amazing. Now, for my next question, Aga, what was the motivation behind starting this venture? So let us go back to the inception of Primacy. So what motivated you in the first place?
Yeah, interesting question. It actually started with crypto compliance. Good friend of mine had a crypto brokerage in Australia, wanted to come to Singapore and get licensed here, and being able to navigate the highly regulated market here to get a license was proving quite difficult. And so my thinking around that was, how can we make it simpler for companies to navigate legislation? And that's where the thought process came from, trying to digitize, having run and started other tech startups, is how can we use technology to make this process simple? So that was the genesis of the idea, to turn legislation into machine readable code to address regulatory obligations for crypto companies. We quickly moved into financial services and where we are today, but we focus more on ESG reporting because it is obviously one of the up and coming requirements in reporting all around the world.
Brilliant. Now, for my next question, I would love to know, what has the feedback been from the community? So in the market in general, how have they responded to your product?
Yeah, it's funny. ESG, someone said to me the other day, ESG is like the new crypto or blockchain. It's one of those words that's front and center with everyone. The world as a whole has committed to net zero 2050 obligations, and that has been pushing ESG reporting across every country. However, regulation has been slow to be enacted in various countries. So the EU regulations was the first that started. We now see that in the United Kingdom. Here in Singapore, guidance has been issued for reporting standards as of January of next year. So the world is really coming and following very, very quickly to adopt ESG standards and reporting around the world. And we believe that we play an intrinsic part in that because there's so many different assets of ESG: standardization, data collection, and reporting, and how do you do that? We set out to make that whole process much, much easier by using our technology. So we marry your legislative obligations with the data that's available to produce an evidence-based comprehensive reporting tool for ESG reporting.
Brilliant. I completely agree with all the points that you mentioned. ESG is definitely a growing sector, and this is something that we have seen with our investors as well. There's a lot of interest that's developing there. Now, one thing which our audience would love to know about you as well. What are any milestones that that you would have achieved since founding Primacy? So, if you could highlight that, any key clients, partnerships, that would be great.
Yeah, we've had a growth that's kind of taken us in different areas. So we were finalists last year in the Legal Tech Awards here in Asia Pacific. So we came runners up for that, mainly because our software also allows lawyers to use the same technology. So we were very proud of that. We were then recently accepted into a London soft landing pad, which was late last year. That was sponsored by the Singapore government, Enterprise Singapore, and the Singapore Development Board here. So there was a subsidized program that we went into. Following that, we were then accepted by the UK government Global Entrepreneurial Program, which gave us access to the UK market, their network. Once again, it was run by the UK government. And then we were, through that program, we were finalists in the Commonwealth Scale-Up Games in July, which was ahead of the Commonwealth Games. So it was a week of pitching, meeting investors and doing that. And we were one of 12 global finalists in that region. And from that, I'm proud to say, we're also accepted to another accelerator program within Birmingham, which we've accepted. We've opened up our office, and as part of, that has been a huge opportunity for us, because the UK market is the second largest regulatory obligation market behind the United States.
Absolutely. Well, those are some great achievements, and congratulations on that. It says, it really says a lot about a business when they get recognized by the industry. So that is brilliant. Now, for my next question, another thing that, the listeners would love to know is your uniqueness about your product. So there would be other solutions available on the market, but what makes Primacy unique? If you could highlight some points.
Yeah, so the core foundation of what we do is matching your obligations to legislation, because I think without being evidence-based, it's really easy, especially in ESG, to whitewash credentials. And that was one of the first things we went to set out, is how do we produce an evidence-based report or scoring mechanism? So, and I'm proud to say that a lot of other products out there just use data, compile it, maybe use some AI to give you a report or a score, but we don't do that. We actually create a checklist, obligations, and we look for data that matches those obligations for that company, both externally and internally. And then we use that to create the company score. We do that for one sole purpose: it's evidence-based. So people say, well, why did you get this score? We can tie that all the way through to the obligation within the jurisdictions that they're operating in. So it takes out the guesswork. It takes out the two biggest problems in the market. One is the lack of confidence of data that's currently available, and two, greenwashing. And we solve those problems by linking data with your legal obligations, and that's how we create the reports.
Amazing. Now, for my next question, Aga, I would love to talk about the team at Primacy. So if you could talk about, highlight some of their skills and their experience, what do they bring to the table?
Yeah, so the three co-founders, obviously I'm one of them. My background, I'm a finance professional, actually, and it wasn't until I did my MBA I pivoted into technology. This is my second tech startup. My last tech startup went from concept to listing on the ASX, and then I moved into doing this. So I have experience both on the commercial, the technical side, and obviously fundraising. My fellow COO, co-founder and COO, Laura, she's an ex-M&A lawyer, 13 years with Rio Tinto, running some of the biggest operations around the world. Her background as a lawyer has been invaluable in terms of our product development, because it's always getting a lawyer's perspective for what we're doing, especially around compliance and regulations. And finally, our other co-founder, Johan, he has spent many years in Asia Pacific working for the likes of IBM and ServiceNow, selling governance, risk and compliance programs to some of the largest organizations within the region. So between us, we have startup, operationals and sales experience across the three co-founders.
Brilliant. Very strong team indeed. Now, as a parting question, Aga, I would love to know, and this is for the prospective investors in the audience, what does the outlook look like? Let's say over the next 6 to 12 months, what milestones are you looking to achieve?
Mm. So I am also very proud to say we just signed a huge agreement with an American wealth tech organization. They're 30 years old. They have 300 plus clients all around the world, and we have partnered with them to really develop a new product called ESG First. ESG First will be the combination of the data, our digital legislation libraries, and how we bring that together. And they will sell that in the United States, and we will use that to sell here in Asia Pacific and the UK, where we've just opened. So that partnership gives us a huge global footprint. It allows us to be in the two largest markets, America and the United Kingdom. So that's really, really exciting for us. I think the outcome of that product is a product that can be used globally across many, many jurisdictions. So the next 6 months is really just refining what we're doing now is building an MVP so that we can ingest the data that they have. And just to be clear, the data they have is 30 years of financial reporting in America. So it's the most data that any company could have. But more importantly, it's been machine trained already. So it allows us to advance our AI and our capabilities around insights into ESG reporting. The other amazing thing is they've just invested into an ESG data reporting firm that only collects ESG data globally. So we are now really excited about bringing our technology with their data to produce, what I mentioned before, an evidence-based ESG reporting and scoring tool that just does not exist in the market at the moment.
Brilliant. Well, we are looking forward to seeing the growth of Primacy moving forward. So, and congratulations on everything that has been achieved so far. For anyone who's interested to get in touch with the team of Primacy, please see the details at the side of the screen or in the description. Thank you so much for coming on for this interview, Aga, and I wish you all the luck with your venture.
Thanks, Rhythm. I appreciate your time and the opportunity to talk a little bit about our business.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.